So your question is why people should do breathing techniques and why they should meditate. It's very natural to do meditation. It's very natural to do breathing techniques and some stretches for the body, as in yoga. It helps in making better decisions. See, we are in a world of choices, options, and at all times we have to make decisions. So, what is the first criterion to be able to make the right decision? You need clarity of mind. With good clarity of mind, we can make right decisions, correct decisions. So, how do you get clarity of mind? So, to get clarity of mind, we need to have some idea of the hindsight. We need to do some learning of what you've already done. We need to go a little into the background check of everything, and we need to know, we need to do a due diligence. So due diligence and background check is founded on hindsight. So we need a good hindsight of what has already happened to collect adequate data, so that then that data is used in the present. That is the insight. We need to do a lot of analysis. We need to know, to scrutinize any situation in its current affairs, in its the current scenario, the present situation, and that's insight. So we need a lot of hindsight, as in the background check and due diligence of what has already happened. That brings us to the current situation, the current moment, the present situation, which is full of analysis of the data that we have collected from the hindsight. We need a lot of insight into it, and deeper insight, and better research, and better study. And all this equips us to make a good foresight of a target in the future, a specific goal, where we want to go, to a clarity on our destination, to make a specific target and enable us to work towards that. This is a foresight. So I'm introducing you to clarity of mind. Clarity of mind comes from good hindsight, very good insight, and extremely understanding of foresight. So how to get this sight? Only through clarity of mind. How to get clarity of mind? Through meditation, through doing good breathing techniques, and some stretches for the body, as in yoga. It could be any example, your day-to-day living. If you get hurt, whether in the mind or in the body, there is a hindsight towards why you got hurt, why are you injured in the mind or in the body. And there is a current situation that you are nursing an injury. So there's an insight into the injury, how best to recover from it. And then there's a foresight. What is the timeline that it can heal? There's a foresight. So in every situation, a good decision maker has a good hindsight, good insight, and a great foresight. It could be as simple as an example that you wake up in the morning and you go to a shower. Before you have a shower, you have an idea of a function or a program that you want to attend to this morning. And accordingly, you choose your wardrobe. How do you decide on what wardrobe, what dress to wear? So you line up all the pieces of the dresses to wear at a point, maybe in your wardrobe room. You decide on that's to be worn after you step out of the shower, after having a shower. So that's a background study, a background check, and due diligence on that already. And then you enter the shower, and that is the current scenario. And then when I come out, you are ready for the function ahead of you for the day. So you wear that appropriate wardrobe. So a very small thing like choosing a wardrobe, there is an element of hindsight, insight, and foresight. So I give you two examples. One is of nursing an injury or a hurt in the mind or in the body, which has a hindsight, which has an insight, and which has a foresight. The other example is about the choice of the wardrobe corresponding to a function, a respective program that you want to appear in which case you need to choose the right wardrobe, and for that there is a hindsight, there is an insight, and there is a foresight. So that is the reason we need a clarity of mind. And to get clarity of mind, there's nothing better than meditations, there's nothing better than doing a lot of breathing techniques, and there's nothing better than doing some stretches for the body. Because what it does is we are perhaps have a fixation on things must be within our control. See, not all the things in the world can be incorporated into a dimension which you are in control of. A lot of things is just out of control. So how do you relate to a mind that you have to a situation which is out of control? So this relationship of a mind which has a fixation on wanting to control things and a situation external to you which is just really out of your control. So that mismatch has to be bridged. So what is a bridge? What is a bridge that allows you to be in comfort, in restfulness and in relaxation in spite of things being out of control? Now that requires a lot of hindsight, a lot of insight and a lot of foresight, because not everything in the world can be incorporated into your control. Then what is a resistance that you have yet to subscribe to breathing techniques, as in pranayama, to meditation techniques, or into yoga? Maybe it's your culture, maybe you have a prejudice. So you need to attend to your mind, whether it has a prejudice, that it just has a resistance in you, that you just do not want to subscribe to something which is anyway progressive, which is anyway the trend, which is anyway a forward thinking option that you have to learn about your own mind through insight, through hindsight and through foresight. So this prejudice, if you have any, as a resistance to subscribing to meditation, to learning of pranayama, need to be diffused and neutralized, and that is your accountability to eliminate your resistances, which is perhaps coming out of a severe cultural framework. Welcome to a good world.